The translations on a lot of the clothing and the t-shirts.
We slept on the Great Wall of China.
When the door opens, like everyone just like spills out.
The dancing grandma.
Grandma dancing.
Grandma's dancing around.
It's like a live cat was just sitting on his head as he was biking.
So the sun sets at 9.
I was trying frog legs for the first time.
Once his mom walked back into the room, then he set everything back up again.
I think definitely the translations on a lot of the clothing and the t-shirts give you your daily entertainment. I think for me personally, the sort of most interesting thing that happened that I found quite comical was learning the differences in tones in the words. So the word for watermelon and straw is pretty similar but different tones, and I asked for a straw at a restaurant and they brought me a plate of watermelon. So one of those sort of China moments where you've just got to take the watermelon and smile and pretend that's what you asked for. 西瓜, yeah, and then 吸管 is straw, right? Yeah.
I'd say one of the craziest things I've ever seen in China was I was in Fumin in Shenzhen with my friends at a restaurant, and then a guy was riding a bike down the road, but he had a cat sitting on his head the whole time. So like a live cat was just sitting on his head as he was biking, and then he still like got off the bike with the cat still on his head and then just walked down the street with the cat sitting on his head the entire time. That's crazy. Yeah, so that was pretty crazy.
So I was in southern part of China, like Shanghai, Suzhou. So we follow the normal timeline because China only have like one time zone. And then I traveled to up north China, like northern cities in China. And then when I was there, I was so surprised because it was still like super like bright at 8 p.m. So the sun sets at 9. So I was like, wow, that was really kind of like, you feel like you have time to do stuff because it was still like super bright, like you still can like do stuff. But yeah, it was really interesting.
So one thing that I love seeing in China that always gets me is the dancing grandmothers on the street. That's kind of interesting because they're always dancing. They're very kind of like choreographed, and it's always fun to see them perform.
Yeah, and I love seeing sort of grandmas dancing around and trying out their different styles, and occasionally they kind of form a conga line. So my friends and I have kind of joined the line occasionally as well, where we're just like joining in on the dancing, it's always just really fun, and it happens any time of the year.
I actually went on a trip where we hiked onto the Great Wall of China and we slept on the Great Wall of China. That was pretty incredible. I really enjoyed that, like seeing the sunset on one side and then in the morning waking up early and seeing the sun rise again while you're on the Great Wall of China is just like, yeah. They had a barbecue up there as well, so in the evening we had a barbecue while being on the Great Wall, yeah.
I just found it really funny on the subway when I first started and I was getting the subway to work, how packed everyone is, and then like when the door opens, like everyone just like spills out, and it's like I just find it really funny that how many people can be compact into one carriage.
It would have to be the first 2 days I arrived in China. So what happened was I was meeting my DOS and my senior teacher for the first time after I was finishing my onboarding training. And they took us out for lunch, and we were having lunch and eating all these crazy foods I've never tried before. And I was trying frog legs for the first time. So I was eating frog legs, and I didn't know that they would have bones in it. So I was just eating the whole thing and just put the whole thing in my mouth and started chewing, and I started, swallowing everything. And I started choking on a frog leg. And I asked for water, and this was my first experience in China realizing that they only serve hot water, and no matter where you go. So I grabbed a cup of water and I chugged it, hoping to wash down the frog leg. And I ended up burning my throat and spitting out the frog leg in front of my senior teacher, DOS, and all the other teachers that were in my onboarding training. So it's pretty funny.
So for Kids Online, we teach one-on-one with the kid. The kid normally has either an iPad or a computer, laptop set up, and we're kind of in our own nook, but we have to teach the kid one-on-one. And in this case, the kid had an iPad. But what the kid was doing during class is the kid would end up, throwing me, because it had the whole view of me, throwing me on the floor and then looking down at me and be like, "Ha, teacher, you're on the floor." So that was a memorable experience for me, because once his mom walked back into the room, then he set everything back up again, and then he was on perfect behavior.